Hello everyone, good morning. Today Ridhima ma'am is going to join our session and we will learn many things from her. She started one business and that business reached to 20 crore within a year. So we can learn many things from her. She is just going to join us. Hello everyone. So ma'am is with us now. शिफ्ट पर जाना नहीं है आज मिश ऑफ है हेलो निखिल सर गुड मॉर्निंग मैम थैंक यू फॉर joining my Instagram live.
Thank you so much for inviting so much.
Ma'am, everyone know you, but still, would you like to tell something what you are currently doing?
So I'm a nutritionist, I'm a yoga trainer, and I also foods. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I am a nutritionist, and I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner. And I also run a brand called Namya Food, which is an Ayurveda-based health foods brand. The idea of brand is that we want to create an ecosystem where people can um, maintain health, create health in their everyday life. They need not go on a certain kind of medication tomorrow if they're not feeling well, or if their blood sugars have gone up, or if you know their cholesterol levels have gone up or down. So that's the idea.
Oh, that's amazing. And how you started this business, and what is the name of this? How you find the name? Because the name is quite also unique.
Mm. So I started this business back in 2019, and the primary reason for why I started this business was that somebody was unwell at my place, and I had very keen interest in Ayurveda and in health from a very long time. It's just that I never thought of doing it full time, but because I was visiting hospitals every day, I was going. Doesn't need to be done. So I think all of that really made me realize that we had to cover up this gap that is there in the market, which is mostly filled with allopathic medication, which again has its own side effects, but nobody's really talking about it. And if you really have that kind of Ayurvedic herbs, Ayurvedic medicines that have zero side effect on you, that can be taken in your everyday life, and that can prevent you from diseases getting worsened because of the kind of lifestyle we have. I felt that that was a big gap, and we should sort of cover that up. And we deliberately made a decision that we wanted to get into preventive healthcare segment, which is to say that you don't have to have a disease to take medication or to take Ayurvedic herbs. Ashwagandha got really popular because of the kind of benefits it has. But what about Pani Dodi? What about Harad? What about these other Ayurvedic herbs that we have? So I think that was the intent. And regarding the name Namya, primarily with the name Namya because it was a little personal reason, only because I've been practicing Buddhism for a very long time, and Namyo Horenge Gyo, which is the chant that you do in Nichiren Buddhism, is derived from the word Namyo. So from Namyo, we felt that we should do Namya. So that's how the brand name got.
That's an amazing thing. And ma'am, I don't think so that you are from medical background. I believe that you have done BTech or something or MBA. So how you learn these things? How you switch your like profession as well?
I took up a few courses. I also happen to come from an Ayurvedic background. From a business perspective, my grandfather Ayurvedic herbs for a very long time. The structured way of education when it comes to Ayurvedic herbs has come only in the recent past. At BAMS, it's only 20-30 years ago. If we look at people before 1920s, 1960s, probably there was no education for Ayurveda. So whoever understood Ayurveda understood it, from generations to generations, and that's how the got passed.
Okay, ma'am, Mr. Mehta is asking one question that how can you please mention the courses which you are going through? Like what are the courses you have done?
Uh, I did two courses. One was from Bangalore, which is from KIIT. The other one was, from Jammu and Kashmir only, and that's a state-led course. So I don't think if you'll be able to get enrolled in that. But yeah, those were the two courses that I can specifically write the names here after the you know.
Yes, ma'am, you can mention those courses in the comment section after this live. I'll share the video in the IGTV in the video section. Ma'am, how you manage the sales team or marketing team in the initial times of your business?
We are, in fact, even today are primarily a online brand, which means that it's a lot more to do with analytics. It's a lot more to do with making yourself available to the customer in terms of the kind of ads you're doing, the kind of visibility you have on social media, the kind of relevancy you can create in front of the customer when he goes to different platforms. So I think instead of building an offline sales team, which means a lot of money, which means a lot of investment, we felt that online was booming. Online was something that was happening a lot more, especially during the pandemic. We are a brand who started during. So we concentrated a lot more on where the customer is on the online space rather than the offline. And initially, we outsourced a lot of things, which meant that I didn't have a lot of money to build a marketing team in-house. So I outsourced a few things. We only did a few things that we knew will go right. So, when you have 10 rupees, you don't end up spending all the 10 rupees on one element, right? You try four things and you figure out what is going to work the best for you, right? So we did all of that experimentation, and I think that's more important, especially in the initial months of your startup, because you wouldn't want to have a lot of fixed costs coming into your hitting your top line and bottom line in the initial months. So we managed that part well.
So one of my friend asking that is it like Nutri Life?
No, no. It's absolutely, see, Nutrilite or for any other brand uh, which is in that segment is basically a supplementation segment. Right. So supplementation is again herbs and other ingredients that are formulated in the form of capsules, right? Which means again a whole lot of processing that goes into it, right? We don't, as a brand, we're not saying that they're doing something. As a brand, we believe that anything that processed that gets exposed to formulations or heating too much or excessive heating processes is not something that is fit to eat, right? Essential nutrients gone off. So what we essentially did was blend the Ayurvedic herbs naturally in the form of teas, in the form of breakfast cereals, in the format and in the form that your grandfather or your grandmother would have.
I'm so sorry because of some network issue. we have to stop our live. So, ma'am is going to join again. Hello, ma'am. I'm so sorry for the network glitch. Uh, ma'am, my next question is that am I perfectly audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Ma'am, my next question is how you manage your hard times, like when you are suffering from many bad chapters of your life, how you survive and how you manage those things. What are the things which make you positive during those hard times?
I think it's a very very personal question. I guess everybody has their own way of meditate. I personally use meditation, and the fact that everything is very temporary and transient, and things keep changing very quickly, and life is short. Um, Best way possible. I think that works for me, but it might not really work for you. But meditation and having a good perspective of life, of what it is, how important something could be, is very very important. Sometimes we think that something is very important, but uh, it's not really important if you look at the overall scheme of things of your life. I think having in perspective, it really helps.
So Ayushi asking that at the starting, were you having a marketing team?
You know, it will not be a right thing for me to say that you should not have a marketing team. The leverage that I had personally, that I came from a marketing background. And when you come from a marketing background, you have good understanding of the that you did wrong in your past experience. So I did not do those things that I did before. And there were, I think, well placed strategies we put in place, and that worked. But having said that, as I said earlier, I did, um, you know, source a lot of things like my SEO, my performance marketing, creatives. These were all different people managing. We did that because of the lack of money. I didn't have enough money to hire an agency and pay those kind of retainers. And the only option that we had was to sort of figure out these resourceful people who are very good with their job, and make the best out of it. The only disadvantage is that sometimes when you're managing two, three, four, six resources at the same time, there's a lot of wastage of time, there's a lot of coordination that is required, and it might not be worth your time. But because I was starting up, because I had low resources, and we were not doing something, that big in the first 2, 3 months, so I made a choice of myself. The coordination was something, and the other things I had outsourced. But for somebody who's starting up, my suggestion would be people think too big and then don't end up executing. This is something that I found out in people around me and in some parts of myself. But I think the idea is to have good plan what you're wanting. Acquiring and using resources only so much that you need, because extra resources, when the work has just started up and it's not something that's helping you, pay up your expenses of the month, you should not waste a lot of money. Is my own suggestion. Tomorrow, if you have funding and if you're really wanting to go right out there with a bang, then everything is fine. But if you're starting up on your own and very smoothly without any external funding, then going slowly, steadily is good. Somebody is saying my voice is not audible. Is that okay, Ayushi Agarwal? Is that okay? Okay, it seems there's some voice issue. Can you hear my voice? If you can just do a thumbs up if you can. Okay, I don't think there's any issue from my end. Ashutosh, can you hear me? I can't basically. I think just check your speaker once if it is on mute. You're not audible, but anyway, you can just quickly. Okay, I'll tell you what to do. You can just quickly type up your question and I'll answer because I think I am audible. Ayushi, Namia Foods is not only in India, it's also in UK, Canada, UAE. We've just recently started with Ukraine. But yeah, UK, US, Canada, UAE is where we are. Out of these, Canada and UAE are sort of now stable. UK is still very small in terms of the kind of numbers we do. But yes, just to answer your question, yes, we are outside India also. Like I said in the video earlier, also, there are different ways of how people cope up with failures. I personally think that failures are just a part of life. I mean, there is no um, I don't look at failures and success as these milestones. I think it's more about what you like and what you want to do. Sometimes you will fail, sometimes things will go well for you, sometimes things can go really great for you. But I think the core of why you are doing something should be in place, which means that if I want to serve people with Ayurvedic herbs, with stuff that I feel will change the way people eat, change the way people will experience health, I should do that, and I should figure out maximum means and ways of doing it so that I can, reach out to more and more people. I can do it with marketing. I can do it with whatever I feel is right for me and for our brand. But having said that, I think I feel is that you should be attached to your core of what you're wanting to do, and rest of the things, can be categorized into normal success, failure, and all those things. I don't think those are things that you should really think about when you're really doing something that you want to do. So yeah. I have a question from Nihar. He's asking, how can we how can we be able to build a big customer base? That's a question which will be very difficult to answer for any entrepreneur for that matter. Honestly, it takes time. On the ground reality, it takes a lot of time. There are obviously quick fixes to do it, which is to say pick up funding, burn money in the marketing. Um, uh, those are things that you do for scaling up. But having said that, and I really don't know the right answer, but what I have done so far is that we've reached out to small number of people. We've tried to deliver the right kind of product. We've tried to serve those small number of people well, right? And though those people have become our marketing evangelist, to spread this whole idea that there's this brand called Namya Foods, which is doing XYZ and it's really amazing, and they tell their family, their friends, also because our products are very result oriented. So tomorrow, if you have cholesterol, if you have BP, and if you start seeing improvements in your BP and cholesterol, you will end up telling your families and friends. So I think that has helped us spread our product to that level. So much so forth that people started coming back to us, vendors and platforms and, big brands started coming to us that we want your product. So I think uh, we just did the product positioning and the product making right, and everything else sort of fell in place. But having said that, I think today we are in a position where there is some strategy that we are devising to sort of scale up. There will be eyeballs that you would need when you want to scale up to a level where the whole India knows you, right? So to answer your question, yes, there is a lot of marketing that needs to be done in today's world, because there are so many products, there are so many brands, there will be so many people who have already replicated us, so in the essence of how things happen today, it's difficult to reach out to the right kind of audience. But I think your product speaks a lot. So do that well if you're wanting to start a business and leave everything else for the fate. I think your business tells you at regular intervals that what it needs to sort of grow. It's like a baby, the baby tells you that he or she is hungry. So I think it's the same way for the business also. How much time did it took me to build this big customer base? It's tertiary, especially tertiary for anyone and everyone who doesn't know what tertiary is. Tertiary is basically when the product gets sold from distributor to the customer. So tertiary is always very, very slow, and don't get you know don't start thinking that you're a failure just because your tertiary is slow. For any and every brand who's trying to attain a certain position in the offline or the online market, irrespective, tertiary will take time, and you should give it enough time, and have a good amount of feedbacks from the customer, because that will help you constantly improve. I think the one thing that has worked well in the first year of the business was that if we've got any complaints, if we've got any feedbacks where we felt that the product had to be improved, we would, the agility of the company was high because we were less number of people. We would immediately go back and, correct those issues and, again, go back to the customer and sell it off. And, people acknowledge and encourage if you are listening to them and if you are doing corrections accordingly. So, yeah. What are your morals or rules on which you stick up to build your own? I think I think every brand or every company has its own set of rules slash list slash Bible by which it goes. We also do have that. It's a very very entrepreneurial atmosphere in the company. Also, we are a very small team, irrespective of the kind of revenues we are doing, and the throughput or the output per person is very very high. So it's more of a entrepreneurial atmosphere, and whoever thinks is that this is right and this needs to be done, they don't come back to me and ask me. They just simply do it. I think that kind of liberty is important in the company, just so that you're not moral policing them. I think once you have the baseline of how you want to work, everything else should be should be left to the employees, so that they don't act as employees. They act as outputs or people who have greater visions and greater throughputs per hour of their job. So that's what we do. I'll just quickly check any other question if we have. Okay. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, I'll wait for a minute or so. You can ask me. Otherwise, DM us on Namya Foods, and we'll be happy to respond to you. Okay, Ashutosh has asked me your goals and targets. Ashutosh, right now, I think we aren't that big that we want to acquire the world. The idea is to, obviously become the number one Ayurvedic brand in the world from India. And it's exactly the reason why the whole intent is to go abroad and is to sell abroad, because we completely believe that how yoga became very popular in the Western world, and yoga does come from India. We also feel that Ayurveda will also take the same place. But within India, which is what our focus is right now, the idea is to be available at almost all the places. We are still struggling with visibility because not a lot of people know about Namya Foods, right? So yeah, I think that's the idea. If anyone in your household and everyone in your household knows about Namya Foods, I think the target that we are trying to create will be close there. And I think with respect to sales, I think those are bound to happen because we are doing products which are right. The only thing that we are still working on is creating that kind of visibility. Thank you so much, Ayushi. Thank you. So Ashutosh, I think we can close it here. We can have your questions, any doubts. If at all you're wanting to start up a new business, we can probably help you in our own small way. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you.